All right, so this is going to be my second reflection memo. We'll start with the first reading, which was the Tarazi reading, the 2022 Strengths of Police and Media. Or first, I want to start with the strengths of the police and media video. I feel like they had a well-rounded argument as far as well, I didn't really see an argument necessarily, but they were talking about how officers are portrayed in the media, and I found it to be very true in my eyes. Um, they said that in the media, like TV shows and movies, a lot of the time officers can actually be seen as having a thrilling job or having an interesting job. And I thought that was interesting that they said that because when I first think of how officers are portrayed in the media, I think of them being viewed poorly, which they talked about as well. And this is where I get my idea, which is that the news is usually where officers are portrayed poorly. And they explain that this happens because that is what is more likely to get that news outlet more views when it comes to talking about officers and what's going on. Um, One of the things that they talked about that surprised me to hear is that actually 81% of officers that were in departments with over 100 people felt that they were poorly portrayed in news outlets, and I think that's really sad. And I think that's where a lot of problems come from with officers not being able to do their job as easy because people think that they're out to get them when really they're just doing their job. Um, A weakness I would say is that Tarazi said that there's no in between as far as officers even either being portrayed as good or as bad. And I find that somewhat true as far as what's produced by media and news. But I would say that if you want that in between and you want to take the outlook on your own, there is now so much body cam footage that is released on certain things that happen. You can find them anywhere, and I think that this is going to be the in between where people are able to judge officers or circumstances for themselves. And they also mentioned in that that article that people who look at body cam footage can have their minds changed. Um, that they have a certain outlook on something, and then they watch the body cam footage and it changes. The next one is by Mason, and it's goes over the 99 Problem song by Jay-Z, verse number 2. I didn't really see an argument in there either. He was more just talking about um the lyrics of verse 2 and what was in there, and I thought it was really cool because obviously I know the song, and I never really thought about it like that, and it was cool for him to break it down. It was mostly going over the Fourth Amendment rights, like search and seizure rights, and what he was stating, whether it was factual or not. It actually surprised me how much of it was factual and how much of it was right. And something interesting that came out of that was how he said that the whole having a lockbox or having your trunk and your glove department locked, that they can't search it. That's something that I've actually been told in the past, and I thought it was true as well. So I thought it was really interesting that it wasn't. So yeah, there's my reflection memo on the two readings. Thank you.